Hey, hi, and hello. Sheeba-dooba-dooba-dooba-doo-boo. We are locking, we are loading, we are entirely losing controlling. Does OBS do green screen? That is a question that I am asking myself out loud while I wait for the ladies, the gentlemen, the gender fluid folk, and the non-binary people to show up. Hello, Dani. Hello, Lucifern. Hello, hello. Can you say hello? Let's see. Score review. What we got going on here? How many scores do I have to review? How many scores will I score your scores on the 19th? Danny M. Fog with an ambient jam. Danny is first in line, which honestly sounds like a good place to start. Let's try and get to 25 million likes, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary friends. 25 million likes, right? We are trying to get to 25 million. We're super close. We already have one. Hello, Rhodesy. How are you? So I'm starting a super chat goal to help me buy a new computer. Help me buy a new computer. We'll do 5 super chats. Start goal. Yeah. We're trying to start that goal. So if you got a little bit of bread on the side, you know what I'm something. You know what I'm something. You know what I'm saying. You already here. You got some bread. You can drop to that super chat. We gonna rock. We gonna roll. Let's go ahead and get started. We're trying to get to 25 million likes, everyone. We're open off strong with a piece of ambient music. I'm being honest. I have been hoping to lock into some ambient music because I've been digging some ambience. I've been looking for good ambient music. So I'm actually really excited about seeing where this is going because I've been really listening and trying to find some good ambient music. So who knows? Danny M might be the person who starts me off on my ambient journey. Although the title is Fog! And the reason I'm yelling is because it has 2 exclamation points. So, without any ifs, I already tell you, it's too short to be a good ambient piece. Oh, what the hell? It's a MIDI drum. That was not ambient music. What's happening? Alright, here we go. Fog by Danny M. Starting us off strong with a very non-ambient drum. funky little funky little high piano notes in the end. Yeah, that was pretty tight. But it wasn't ambient, bro. I'm about to make this ambient AF. Here we go. Ready? This would make it ambient. Making it ambient. How about right here? So, right, it's just rock. See, now it's ambient. That was yeah, so it was cool. A couple of things about it. It was definitely background. Like I could get why it was like, oh, it is ambient. Like background ambient, I suppose, isn't unusual. But the idea of being like ambient music, creating like large atmospheric textures, and I know there's different definitions. But in general, when I think of ambient, like I wouldn't say it was that was more just sort of like chill instrumental rock, like ambient rock maybe. Yeah, it was cool. I think that I feel like the drums could have definitely been a little bit more like subdued. The sort of funny thing is I think that was literally an ambient reverb. The type of reverb was an ambient reverb. But like that sort of roomy reverb on the drums, like didn't give it like the most. I don't think that it really added to it. I think that it sort of took it away. Like put a low pass filter on the drum and really, sort of subdue the drum. Maybe add some like digital distortion to it, a little bit reduction. Hi Shark. That could have been cool. I liked the mixing was good. The production value was strong. The balance was like really strong. Did it have like a bass? Like I like the drums, but the very quantized it felt kind of lifeless, and then adding that reverb to it kind of made it feel a little weird, so it was like either lean into the electronic quantizedness or otherwise, try and make it sound more realistic and add some imperfections, or yeah, I mean, toy around with the drums. The drums were the weakest point, which is funny because the drums seemed like they were supposed to be the focal point. Like, honestly, man, I think this would sound way tighter if it didn't have any drums and the whole thing was just like pitch stretch, and you added like in place of drums something a little bit more abstract, and then maybe like an amen break. I love ambient amen music, I'm not gonna lie. Super cool. Hello, Alt Notes, how are you? Yeah, it was cool. It was good. I'd give that like a solid 7.6. 7.6 out of 10. That's a little C, maybe a C+. All right, everybody, we're trying to get to 25 million likes. We're super, super close to hitting our goal. We're at 7 likes right now. Hi, JJ. So we are almost to our goal of 25 million likes by hitting benchmark 7. Also, we're trying to get a super chat. I need to buy a new computer. The reason I haven't made any new content is because my computer is actually shot to fuck. And I can barely stream on it, and I certainly can't make music and edit videos on my computer. So that really sucks ass. So that's why I haven't been making content. I don't have a computer to make it on because my computer is over 10 years old and it's just dying. So let's go. Hi, Xander Braxton. How you doing? So donate to those super chats. I'm trying to get my new computer. Hitting the 5 super chat goal. I'm begging for money. I'm basically begging you for money. Please give me money. Cringe. All right. Starting off strong with some not so ambient music. Ambient electronic by Jackson Ramsey. Jackson, are you here? Where's Jackson? But Rhodesy, let's do Rhodesy. Good, we love Rhodesy. Should we do Prelude 13 or Prelude 13? Or 17, excuse me. Let's do 17. Rhodesy coming in with the Preludium Exultium. Alright, Rhodesy is a low-key goat of the streams, kind of a day one, you know what I'm saying? 10 tones down, so you know he mean business. We're gonna download this score, and we're gonna kick it. You know, we're gonna kick back, relax, and enjoy a little Panano Prelude. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Blip, blop, transition over to the score window, which is the Prelude, and transition. Here we go. Prelude 17 by Rhodesy. Bravissima! That one deserves a... Fuck! That shit was tight! That shit was tight. That shit was tight. He ate and left no crumbs, period. Rhodesy, that was spectacular, man. High energy throughout, a couple of funny little moments. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Great melody. Dum-da-dum, da-dum, dum-da-dum, da-dum. Oh, great syncopation there in the 12/8. This is one of those awesome where it's in 12, but it doesn't feel like it's in 12. You know, it's not this like 1, 2, 3, great. Very Aaron Copland-esque. Very yeah, there was some Aaron Copland-ness. In sort of the kind of, not, I know not fully pentatonic, but some of the pentatonic intervals. And then these like wild Rachmaninoff chords. Yeah, that was tight. That was one of the better ones. That was definitely one of the better pieces you've submitted. I don't know. Are these old, or are you writing these as you go along? Because these are you're getting good. The melody was very catchy. This is not a tarantella. It doesn't feel like a tarantella. But I can definitely hear the dance. Nah, this sounds like Americana to me. Bro dropping his UK lingo in it. Proper fit piece. Sure thing, bruv. Nothing I didn't like about it. Really strong throughout. I love the little triplets. I would work on the beaming here a little bit. That's a little bit confusing. It's pretty big throughout. There's no places of rest. You know, it almost could have like, you know, have this intro where you kind of hit like a, and then it goes right into the. Whoa. Ah, sorry. You know, like have a little rest. You know, a little moment to breathe in there could have been kind of a nice way. This doesn't feel like a prelude. I mean, a prelude to what? What are these preludes to? I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? A prelude to what? What is, like, does it move into something more crazy? Yeah, I like the little chromatic Joplin lines. Yeah, very Americana. Very American for a UKer. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hold you. Very much an American. An American in London. Also, can we please work on these titles? Prelude in A-flat is whack. But I know you like your traditional naming nomenclature. A little dicey grace notes in the left hand would be fun to practice. Stop with these codas. Why do you love these codas so much? They all have the colon. Come up. That's your. I'm going to start docking points if you don't come up. I'm going to start docking points if you don't come up with better titles. All my mama. Yeah, other than maybe having an intro where it breathes. Or maybe elongating these big E diminished chords here. Ba-bum. Bum 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 ba-dum bum. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Maybe having like 2 measures of the chords. The return to the principal theme was so good. So cute. Very clever little whimsy. Little dollop of whimsy there. 8.2 out of 10. Easy 8 for me. Absolutely spectacular. All right, we're moving and grooving. Who's next, man? No super chats. Oh my God. Rhodesy with the only super chat. Bro, if y'all don't super chat, Rhodesy gonna go again. How's my daughter gonna How am I gonna buy diapers for my 2-year-old, my 1.5-year-old daughter if y'all ain't dropping super chats? Absolutely killing me. JJ, do we want Gooseberry percussion ensemble with piano and alto saxophone? That's kind of fun. I kind of like that instrumentation. That's a fun little. I also like your name. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do percussion ensemble with piano and alto saxophone. That sounds dynamite, actually. That sounds right up my motherfucking alley. Oh shit, I just closed it. Yeah, let's hit that. Am I in a good mood today? Question mark? Why am I in a good mood? I'm tired. Somebody put me in a bad mood. I'm more fun when I'm in a bad mood. Hey, remember that time that I made fun of that guy's dead brother? Yeah, that was awful. All right, no more further ado. This is Gooseberries Into Orbit. Is it MIDI? I hope it's not MIDI. It's MIDI. That's okay. $25 million likes, guys. We're so close. Good pacing so far. Oh. It's weird. It goes from Steve Reich to Hyrule Castle on a dime. Especially with that MIDI saxophone. I sound like I'm going to hop on my horse and go on a side quest. Star Trek. Oh, I'm a big Star Trek fan. Humongous Star Trek fan. Are you, I grew up watching TNG. I'm hearing the, yeah. Yeah. Jay Chataway with the Star Trek principal theme. Yeah. The Next Generation is the absolute goated. Absolutely. Yeah. TNG, Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Data, Worf, all the Q episodes, Patrick Stewart, Commander Riker, Geordie LaForge. Fuck out of here. TNG is the GOAT. Bro, I grew up watching that. I still watch Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yeah, it was really cool. So when I read, it was funny when I saw that percussion ensemble, saxophone, and what was the other instrument? Oh, piano. Wait, there was a piano in that? Where was the fucking piano? Was it just at the beginning? Oh, I hear it. There it is. Bomb, bomb, bomb. So yeah, it's funny because it has this thing of you're sort of using what I'll say like orchestral textures or orchestral writing, but in a very stripped down essence. So when writing chamber music like this, it's kind of weird because you're going for this epic symphonic sound, but it's a very stripped down piece. So it almost doesn't translate well, right? It's funny. That's kind of why I didn't get the sense that it was like epic story time, because the instrumentation is so odd. But then once the chomp, 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 chomp snare came in, I was like, oh, there it is. And then with the saxophone theme. So it's a very idiosyncratic little piece of music, right? It's not bad, but I would challenge you to examine like why, like if this was written for a specific ensemble in mind, that makes way more sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, oh, I'm a saxophone player and my friends are in the percussion ensemble at my school, or or whatever, and it's like, okay, so that makes more sense. And so, but other than that, I would say that it needs to have more sort of either pull away from the epicness and make it a little bit more abstract. Like I thought it was going to be more of this like sort of minimalism, and I was like, oh cool, like some Steve Reich music for 18 musicians, and then that melody came in, and then that snare came in, and I was like, oh no, we're doing okay, there was an instrument requirement. That makes sense. No, yeah, it makes sense. I would definitely say that you're not a percussionist and you're probably the saxophone player. I'm guessing. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that, and the reason is because those percussion parts were extremely simple, right? Those were very, very basic. That was very basic percussion writing. So that's kind of the dead giveaway, because percussionists can do way more than what you think they can do. Percussionists are the unsung goats because a lot of their stuff is super easy. A lot of the percussion in traditional classical literature is pretty simple parts. But those percussionists, man, those dudes can do those people could do crazy things. So really take advantage of the fact that you're even like intermediate percussionists. Those were all like I could play any of those percussion parts easily, and I'm not at all a percussionist. But there wasn't a single part in there that I was like, ooh, that sounds hard. Even some of the polyrhythms are pretty straightforward. Yeah, you just said that. Yeah, like the triplet, like polyrhythms, triplets aren't that hard. More flourishes. Add more flourishes. Add a little bit more density in some of the writing, not through the whole thing, but aspects where you can really build up when things are building, adding a lot more texture into what the percussionists are doing. Was it Four percussionists, three percussionists. I don't see the score. I don't have the score, so I think it was like 4 percussionists. And same thing with the piano. Like as a piano player, I'd wish that there was a little bit more in the piano part. You know, showcasing some of the some of the pianists more pianists can get away with doing really cool, really cool like. Oh, hello. Hi. Say hello. Say hello. Ah. Hi, you're waving. Hi, Simone. Okay, I love you. Good night. Mwah. I love you. I'm so proud of you. You want to play a little piano? Okay. All right. Good night. Bye-bye. That would be my big. That would be the big. Yeah, 5 percussionists, 1 on vibe, 1 on Glock, marimba. Yeah. So like, having some of the percussionists, more interplay, between the percussionists. That I would say that's a big. That was a big no. But it's simple, it's easy. Any competent musicians. Hi Jorn, hi Varkson, hi Secret. That would absolutely. Be done in half a rehearsal. I don't think there were any dicey parts. The polyrhythms would require a little bit of coordination, but again, percussionists know that shit in and out. Excellent pacing, excellent structure though, like fantastic. Well executed idea. I like the weird ensemble, so that's based. That was an easy 8.5. Maybe it was a little underwritten, but it was so well structured. I'm actually having a little bit of trouble with this. 2.5 points docked for underwriting. Nah, let's do an 8. Yeah, that's an 8. That is an 8. By the way, how adorable is my daughter? All right. Let's keep things moving. That was Mongooseberry with their piece Into Orbit. The title makes sense. With the Star Trek thing. Very, very cool. All right, Rhodesy is up with another Prelude because Rhodesy super chatted twice. Right now, Rhodesy killing it with the super chats. Usually Rhodesy gets bumped down to the end, but Rhodesy, he bankrolling this whole operation right now. I ain't gonna hold you. Let's do Prelude number 13 by Rhodesy. Let's see here. Does it have a coda? It probably has a coda, and I'm gonna be pissed off that it has a coda, but it is what it is. Can't be too upset. Rhodesy's gonna do what Rhodesy's gonna do. Blip. Open that, and here we go. And then just for some reason that comes back. Yeah, I didn't like that. Oh, you're reverting. It had some cool stuff that I liked. I hope you like your. I hope you can play your E major scales, man. That stuff's all those with the that's some E major for surezies with the omitting of the B. I like the runs. Yeah. The E sort of pentatonic stuff with the leading tone in there. It's a glissando. It's not a glissando if it's in... Oh, it's in B. I'm sorry. It's an F major, F sharp, whatever. What am I reading? Is that literally just a glissandi? Whatever. I don't know how to read music. You're killing me. So I can tell you why I didn't like it. I'm not just gonna say, oh, I didn't like it. Because it doesn't commit to one idea. It's very lovely. There's a very lovely melody, but it's too short, and it goes through. It's like it's got this kind of arpeggio section that's moving around. It's F sharp. Yes, I know it's F sharp. It's was it ever an E? I don't know. I must have been just not reading it. That it's playing these arpeggiated figures, then it goes into like it's eighth notes, then it goes into these sort of walking 16th notes, then it goes back to the eighth notes, then it goes into these sort of dicey little flammed eighth notes, then it goes back into, you know what I mean? It's kind of just oscillating, you know, between a couple of different things. A mini ballad, yeah, it feels more like a mini ballad. That's, see, that if you had expounded on it and be like, this is a ballad in F sharp major, not E, I would have been like, oh, that makes more sense. So maybe it was just a little it's not quite flushed out yet. This seems more like a sketch, right? This seems like you've sketched out some ideas, but you haven't fully worked them out yet. That's what this is giving. Somebody else said that there's cool ideas, and I agree. There's a lot of great ideas, but they're kind of discombobulated. They don't follow. It's a little frantic, which in and of itself actually could be interesting. Like if it was titled like Prelude into Madness in a Bright Room. That would be kind of Ryan Bauman, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. That would be my big takeaway is that if it had a different title, and then it contextualizes like this is a bunch of disjointed ideas, I would have been like, oh, that's tight. But just as it stands, it doesn't feel fully flushed out. This is my favorite part, actually. With this sort of triplety glissando thing. Now that I'm seeing that it's literally just a black key glissandi that I somehow wasn't reading at all. Bum ba da da dum da. It's funny, the theme was kind of similar to the other Prelude. I really liked the other Prelude. So maybe it was that I really liked the Prelude and then this one seemed less coherent. Yeah, you be writing really quick. So, not my favorite. But still, it was, you know, it had a, and then it just goes into F. Sort of a D minor-y thing. Mostly just F. Mongooseberry, peace and blessings to you. I want to hear this after it gets better developed, because right now it's like a 6.5. Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. It's almost ineffable. Like, I don't know why specifically. F sharp is a good key. Yeah, but Rhodesy, you had a great one earlier, you know? So you can't win them all, man. You know, and the fact that you bang this out in probably a couple of hours, I mean, you know, you get what you put into it. Develop it a little bit more. You know, I'd love to come back to this. When nobody ever posts follow-up pieces. You know what I'm saying? It's always, here, check out my new one. Rarely is it like, oh, here, I took some of your advice, and here's the second piece. And then you could really test and see if I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because, you know, if I'm like, oh, I don't like this, this, and this. And then you be like, dude, that's what you told me to do. Because then you could just see that I'm totally full of shit. Cool. Even though it was a low score, I appreciate you. You know I love you. And I really did like that other one. All right, let's keep things moving. We're so close to our goal of 25 million likes, people. We've got 17. We're basically at 25 million. So I don't know what the holdup is. All right, let's move on. Super chats allow you to skip. Don't forget that, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends. Goat Cat, are you here, Goat? Is Goat Cat? Oh no, I'm sorry, not Jackson. Jackson, are you here? Jackson Ramsey, I know your name. Jackson, you're up next, but I'm not gonna listen to your shit if you're not here. Jackson Ramsey, do we have Jackson? Is Jackson Ramsey in the chat? His name is not popping up when I type it, so I'm gonna say no. Jackson is not here. We're already at McNeil. We're already, oh my god, this is crazy. How are we already at McNeil Sketchley? This is crazy. What is going on? McNeil, are you here? Taka, where is everybody? There's like a lot of people here and nobody here that, I know there's a little bit of delay. But I don't want to review stuff that people aren't here for. It just seems... Alt Notes, I know, is here. I'm here. I know who you are. All right, let's move on to... Okay, I'm going to do a call for McNeil, Goat Cat, and Jackson. Otherwise, I'm going to go to Alt Notes with Hit the Road. Singer-songwriter. Ooh, fun. I like me some singer-songwriter. All right, Alt Notes, singer-songwriter. Hit the Road. Not sure about the title, but we'll see. McNeil is here. Secret Gamer, sup? All right, McNeil, you'll be up next. Hit the road. Alt notes. Love a warbly synth.
Got my shoes on, got up before
Vocal jump scare.
How much more do I have to do this for? Stood out in the cold and the rain, waiting for a bus or a train. I miss my Bible day, how come rest my head, got this instead? It's too much taking back what I said. I wanna turn back. It's too late now because I've hit the road, ready for chasing dreams wherever they go. And if the stars will find a way, 'cause we're here in the journey and we're here to stay. Chasing dreams wherever they go. Under the stars we'll find a way, 'cause we're here on the journey and we're here to stay. Energy's low but my spirit's high. Mood gets better as the day goes by. Chase a light through the fight, just make it right, dreams aside. Keep pushing through the night. I don't wanna keep on. Well, I gotta, 'cause I've hit the road.
'Cause I gotta.
I
like the chorus.
With every step we're paving the way. Hit the road, let the rhythm flow. Chasing dreams wherever they go. With every step we're paving our way. City lights breaking through the night. Working hard, but dreams are inside. Just one more false smile. It's been a while, no time for denial. You're gonna push past the trial. Hit the road, let the rhythm flow. Chasing dreams wherever they go. Under the stars we'll find a way. 'Cause we're here on the journey and we're here to stay. Hit the road, let the rhythm flow. Chasing dreams wherever they go. Under the stars we'll find a way. 'Cause we're here on the journey. Every step we're paving our way. We're paving our way.
Okie dokie. Very cool. I have a lot of good things and I have a lot of notes. So there's a couple of things. I don't want to talk too much on the production, but you did produce it. So the production is not great. The production. Has nothing to do with the writing. I actually think the writing is really good. But the production is outside of a lot of stock MIDI sounds, like there's like this MIDI guitar that is insufferable. I like the opening synth. The drums were fine. Not a lot of bass, but the mixing, the balance. So the processing of the instruments themselves was okay. It wasn't anything bad. it was just a little bland in some of the processing. But the mixing, the balance, the mix was not good. But that's a very, very easy fix. Slap a compressor on the vocals and turn it way the fuck down. Why was the verse so unbelievably loud? Like, it was a vocal jump scare. It was like you kind of this chilling dum ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum bum bum. It was like, ah! Like shit scared the fuck out of me. That was Logic, right? I'm like 99% sure that was Logic Pro. GarageBand, I was close. So yeah, just turn the vocal down. And that would have made, and then put like a fucking limiter on the master bus and just, turn everything down, then bring that up. Super easy fix. I've shared this before, that turn everything way down and then find the balance so when you're listening to the mix at a low volume, you can hear everything that you want to hear, and then you can turn the volume up and then bring up the levels in the headroom. But other than that, it was just like did you hear... What do I have against Logic Pro? Nothing. I don't have anything against Logic Pro. I don't know who you're talking to. But, do you hear that the vocals are super loud? You know what I'm saying? Like, the vocals are way too loud. And the other thing was that this is a critique of the vocals themselves, was that there are vocal lines of melody in there that are rushed. And then you're trying to fit too many words. You're trying to fit too many words into... Sorry, the lag is showing of the video of my daughter, and she's so cute, so I'm watching her. Dude, the video stream, there's no way it's that, 25-minute delay. That's crazy. Some of the lyrics are rushed. You're trying to fit too many words into the melody when you could just, keep things, a little bit longer. Don't try and jam words that don't fit. Or if it's really important that you get all the words, make sure that you're practicing and rehearsing it, because you're kind of slurring and mumbling some of your words together. I actually really like the production on the chorus, where this sort of spacey chorusy chorus, that sort of far away had indie rock vibe. So actually I really liked that. So yeah, props to you on making the chorus sound tight. Is my voice super quiet? Oh shit. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell that was. So yeah, cool song. Production do really clean up. The song was honestly easily an 8.5, but yes, I do. I type out the score as I'm saying them, so take that into account for the lag. So it's an 8.5. Is the stream is low? How low? I mean, I have everything turned up pretty loud on my end. Check 1 2. Oh, I'm an idiot. I was turning my monitor up. How's that? Is that better? I was turning my monitor up. I wasn't turning. That's hilarious. I was turning my headphones up. I wasn't turning my input up. I'm an idiot. How's this? Is this better for the mic? Is this better? Check 1, 2. Do I sound? Is it? Oh yeah, that's much clearer. Okay, there we go. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm all up in your ear, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna talk real nice. I'm gonna do the rest of the stream like this. We're gonna do real calm music review for the rest of the stream. So thank you so much for your sharing your piece of music. It was really lovely. I really appreciated it. It was an 8.5 for the writing, but the production was like a 5. So I'm going to give you an average score of 7.5. So I have a thing on this show where I very consistently will rate people very poorly for things that they can very easily fix. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you're really able to fix this simply means that you get more points docked, right? You can just re-level some of the tracks and get an instant point boost, so don't feel too bad. Once again, that was Alt Notes with their song Hit the Road, aka Katie England. So, England. Thank you all for tuning in to Seth David. Music reviews, rating music 1 to 10. Up next, we have a very exciting piece of music from our friend McNeil Sketchley, who is a singer-songwriter / avant-garde ambient composer, somebody that we really appreciate here on this show. So we're not going to spend too much more time talking about it. We're going to jump right into the music. This is McNeil Sketchley, Attitude, one of my all-time favorite composers. So here it is, Attitude, McNeil Sketchley. Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. Great noise here. I believe this is a ukulele. I absolutely picked the right song for everyone to
type of glue. Yeah, the glue sticks, the special purple ones you get at school. I put them on the back of my works to hold them up to a wall.
Jim, thank you for the $10.
Tall, showing my painting on.
Okay, we're at about the halfway point of this song.
To get out of the sorry crowd. To do projects that I used to do in school. Telling myself I was cool.
I think that we've now transitioned into Act 3 of the song.
I learned basic uke. Treated it like it was a lute. But I learned for a piano. Or something more astute. To write my thoughts into. Nothing visual about it. The sound I was crowded. And now I'm surrounded by freaks with attitude.
Okay, that was Attitude by singer-songwriter McNeil Sketchley, one of my favorite composers on this stream and in this show. So that was what we might call a super deep cut for the McNeil Sketchley. Absolutely spectacular, very, very cool. McNeil Sketchley has a bit of some lore that's going on within these streams and within this show. So I think for those of you that maybe are tuning in for the first time, we're a little bit confused by that music. Some of you might even say, what, that was bad music, or was that music? What you're not understanding is that there is a whole breadth, scope, and framework wherein which to digest a piece of McNeil Sketchley. So you have to take into consideration the context of his music. Now, granted, not all of his music requires such context, but I think that was an example of a piece of music that really requires a refined palette and an intimate familiarity with his music. And that's what makes it so powerful and so impactful. So anybody who's out there who was like, what is that? I don't understand. I would really encourage you to explore the McNeil Sketchley back catalog to really provide some context into what is happening within the larger narrative framework. So I personally really enjoyed it. It was definitely a journey. The use of the sort of incessantly out of tune, sort of broken up ukulele juxtaposed with the discordant sax lines, and then that sort of longful musing, that just outpouring of vocal lines. Particularly resonant was the purple glue stick that I really enjoyed. There were a lot of really good things that happened, I think, at the end, having that sort of low synth drone. I'm not exactly sure what the instrument was. Introduced a lot of chaos into an already long, very human experience that I think we can all relate to, a position of where in which we find ourselves in situations that we didn't necessarily expect to be in. And I think that's something that is really challenging to a lot of artists, is to create these musical spaces that make people feel things. And sometimes that feeling isn't even like a good feeling. I think feeling anything is a good thing, but not all good things are good feelings. And that's something that you absolutely need to remember when listening to music. You know, we're so comfortable listening to music that we enjoy because it makes us feel happy, or it makes us feel sad, or it makes us feel good. But we forget about the music that makes us sort of question our reality and makes us question what our perceptions of art are. And that's something that McNeil Sketchley really captures with his piece called Attitude. Food for thought. Really kind of on the nose there with its title. What is your attitude with approaching a piece of music like this? What is your perspective? So I would really check yourself before you start making yourself look a little bit like a fool. Either way, McNeil Sketchley gets his own rating system. I would give that one probably, I would say that is like a McNeil Sketchley 90% on top. It is some of the most, but as far as the scale of accessibility, it's a 4. That was one of his less accessible pieces of music. But overall experience, I would say for me was probably a 9 out of 10. So, well done. Another fantastic piece of music. One of his longer pieces, too. Definitely one of the more sort of reductionist. So thank you so much. All right. Up next, we have Jim with the $10 super chat. By the way, Varks and Core 9, thank you for the 250 something. But yeah, we're going to go over to Jim for Jim's very generous $10. Bought a pack of diapers for my daughter. I really appreciate that. So, without any further ado, we're going to move into a 2-5 spam. This is called Transmission Received by Jim. Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends, you're tuned into the Seth David, rating your music on a 1 to 10. Here we go. Having a little bit of clocking issues. That was a very, very fabulous piece of music called Transmission Received by Jim. Really producing some lovely soundscapes, really utilizing texture over harmony, you know, the harmonic rhythm, this unchanging and change. Actually very reminiscent of some Bach preludes, and I really like the use of, you know, kind of the C minor prelude, C major prelude. Some of those early Bach keyboard preludes come to mind in terms of the harmonic, just really settling into what we might call a meditative state that was just really powerful, and I think moving into a space that was overall desirable to be in. Sound design was excellent. There was just enough subtle movement sort of throughout A couple of those big chords that were hitting really made me feel like I was maneuvering into a new space, even though there was a lot of repetition, but it never felt any bored. Harmonic vocabulary, absolutely stellar. I don't think that there was any question about that. I think I speak for everyone when I say that those chords really do hit different. I'm not sure about the percussion. I was having a little bit of trouble kind of locking into the percussion. I wasn't really sure what it was doing. There was a very subtle kick drum that was kind of just... and it made me wonder if, like, was it needed? And I was kind of trying to imagine if it wasn't there, if there could have been maybe some low bass notes, rather than going on a 4 on a floor, but, you know, having a little bit more movement in the percussion. Rather than a 4 on the floor, is doing a large cut time sort of feel, or even like a double cut time or a quarter cut time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. On top of sort of riding those out as like 64th notes. It seemed like the bass drum didn't really know what it was supposed to be doing. Also, I couldn't help but notice, I think in the beginning, that this, I'm imagining, was made on hardware synthesizers, because I think there were some clock issues, some clock syncing, where the kick drum wasn't quite lining up with the arpeggiators. It may have been a figment of my imagination, but I do think that there was a little, some sync issues at the beginning, but I don't know, I kind of liked it. Almost made me wonder if the bass drum was like 1 BPM off from the whole thing. If it progressively, if the kick drum phased in and out with the rhythm, that actually would have been really interesting. Now that I'm sort of reflecting on that, I kind of wish it did, that the kick drum locked in and then slowly the arpeggiators were like 1 BPM or half a BPM faster or slower, so that the kick drum sort of phased in and out with the rest of the accompaniment. I think would have really added to the sort of minimalist texture that I feel like was sort of going for. So, yeah, the synth and the drum machine have a different idea of 110 BPM. Yeah, it sounded like it. Really cool. I like the texture. I think that that was definitely a strong piece of sort of minimalist ambient synth wave. So that was a very easy 8.8 out of 10 for me. Super, super, super spectacular. Thank you, Jim, so much for sharing. I absolutely loved it. Thought it was gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous piece of music. Really powerful, very emotional too. Those chords, you know, almost felt like you were playing with my heartstrings a little bit. You know, don't appreciate you playing with my heartstrings like that, Jim. Don't appreciate it one bit. Okay, everybody, how are we feeling out here? Are we doing good? We just got a submission from Caleb the Twig, Love is War. Very interesting. I do want to move over to Vaxen Core 9 with their piece, Abstract Exodus. It's an electronic composition, so without any further ado, we're going to listen to Abstract Exodus by Vaxen. It's tracker music. Here we go. That was an absolutely spectacular piece of electronic music by the one and only... Oh, let me see if I can find their name here. Varksen Core 9. That was Abstract Exodus by Varksen Core 9. A very cool piece of sort of abstract, aggressive dance IDM that had elements of hardcore, elements of glitchcore, very subtle elements of techno in it. I think it was a little bit more over a little bit, too wild to really be considered something danceable. It was more ragecore. It kind of sounded like what I imagine, like a bunch of robots taking over and sodomizing a school of kittens or something. It was just really aggressive, really cool, fun, engaging. I could picture some, people molesting other people, but like consensually, but aggressively to it. I think that would be, along the lines of sort of where my mind went. Just fantastic sound design, really cool pacing. I was kind of waiting for there to be like a groove that like locked in, and like this was the defined groove, but it never really settled into one groove, which I think gave it a little bit more of this sort of like elevated art rather than like this is dance music. It's danceable in the sense that it was very easy to follow the 4 count, but there wasn't any one groove. There wasn't any elements of like trance. It was kind of the opposite. It was like anti-trance music. Anti-trance, by the way, trance, Trance, anti-trance music. Yeah, I like glitchcore, futurist IDM. I think it's got a special place in my heart. Kind of wish that Whenever was here to hear it. That was Whenever is a great electronic. Also, for those of you that don't realize, that was composed, I believe, Varksen. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that was done in a tracker, which is pretty impressive. So a tracker is basically like every single step is programmed, and it trance. The reason it's not trance is because you cannot fall into a trance. It wasn't hypnotic. It was too wild to be hypnotic. It was kind of like watching one. It was kind of like watching 1 second of every movie ever made all at the same time for 3.5 minutes. It kind of made me like sensory overload. Like if you walked into a room and from floor to ceiling, it was just all monitors displaying pornography. And it was just like, wow, there's a lot of pornography on these walls. Like, and it's all vastly different, and it's all at the same time, and it's a little overwhelming. But I'm not mad at it. I like it. I'm enjoying it. It's really wetting my whistle. So I think that there was some very good whistle wetting going on in that. So definitely, absolutely loved it. Fantastic. No notes. Super cool. super fun. Wish it had, one element of just like where it locked in for maybe 32 bars of just continuous boom, 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 boom. Would have been such a good, such a needed break. So you do get 1 point docked from that, but somebody asked why all the sexual analogies. The music, I mean this in the most clinical way. The music was very sexually charged, in my opinion. I think there's something to be said about sexually charged music. I don't know what to tell you. Super, super fucking cool. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, we're gonna keep going here. So, what's else? We have Goat Cat. Goat Cat, are you here? If Goat Cat's not here, we want to hear Waltz in an arbitrarily chosen key. Otherwise, we're going to transition over to our friend Jackson Ramsey, Forever Surrounded in the Everlasting Void, an ambient electronic piece. So, Goat Cat is not here. We're gonna jump over to our good friend Jackson Ramsey, Forever in the Sound of the Everlasting Void, an ambient electronic piece by Jackson Ramsey. We know Jackson Ramsey at the show. We love him. Once again, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends, you turned into this Seth David Review Music channel. And without any further ado, Forever Surrounded in the Everlasting Void, Jackson Ramsey. Javier, how's it going? Very nice. Really appreciating the glissandi. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary friends, that was Forever Surrounding in the Everlasting Void by Jackson Ramsey, a electronic ambient piece of music, really leaning heavily into the glissandi use, which I like. I think the overall track could have been normalized a little bit louder, because there was definitely a distance and some far-awayness, which I really liked, particularly with sort of the use of reverb, but I feel like the whole mix could have been brought forward just a little bit. So I don't know if that's a matter of sort of mixing everything and putting a master reverb on a separate bus to really add to the overall ambience. I think it was a little bit quiet. I would definitely appreciate a little bit more forthcoming in the mix. Really interesting use of delaying the entrance of the percussion and the groove until about the halfway point, right around the 135 mark, is when we get introduced to the rhythmic percussion, which was just absolutely delectable and overall entirely enjoyable, which was something that I was profoundly moved by in terms of the overall composition of the piece. So I was fantastically invigorated by that particular usage of the texture. And furthermore, I think that the synthesizers and the use of the horns being imitated by the synthesizers added to the sense of longing and the sense of humanity and the overall desperate sort of attempt to reclaim one's sanity and humanity, which never before has grasped me in such a way that made me feel as though there was something long gone that I had forgotten and fell itself into my mind, which was not something I was anticipating when I came across this particular piece of music. And it brought me to something that transported me to another region, which I thoroughly enjoyed wholeheartedly and with the absolute utmost artistic integrity which I believe you so wholeheartedly poured yourself into in regards to this composition, so kudos to you on that. I've never before felt this way. I'm very much alone, surrounded by friends, and yet I find myself screaming into the void, so profoundly emotional, profoundly impactful, and I hope to never again experience something that is so melancholic yet moving, only so that I can harbor this memory in my mind for days to come. So that was an easy 8.7 out of 10, bringing the mix more forward. Thank you so much for sharing, David Jackson Ramsey. I'm so glad that you felt comfortable enough to share your music here. Okay, moving on, we're going to find ourselves Lauren with us. I believe it's string quartets. Let me find it. Lauren Lofton, the composer, 3 miniatures for string quartet. This is the third movement. It's called The Household, so there's no score, but I believe the score is in the YouTube video, so I will explore here. Excellent writing. Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent use of the cello. Fantastic. Just really consistent energy throughout. It's giving Shostakovich. The return of the theme. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Very well made. Very, very, very well composed. You're obviously a pretty proficient composer. I appreciate the overall writing, the structure, and the traditional use of the string quartet. I'm quite happy to hear a piece of string quartet music once in a while on this channel, to hear just good old classic piece of composition. So I have a couple of thoughts. These are just my thoughts. These are just idea. Come from multiple degrees, years of working with musicians, string quartets, and ensembles. Overall, I think the character of the piece is pretty striking in terms of coherent within its name, the household. I feel like I understand what's going on. I feel like there's sort of a story here of, the kids are playing around in the house, and there's this sort of colonial idea of an atomic family, and then boom, busted, the parents break in, and it's like, oh no, the kids have seen it, or something like that. I am curious as to what the context of the other pieces of music sound like, because something this consistently I think that there could be a moment of breath. There could be a little bit of a moment of rest. You imagine that in the house, the mother closes the door to the bedroom and she's by herself, and she says to herself, like, oh my God, sweet Jesus, these children. So, having this sort of returning back to the sort of jovial, happy place that we found ourselves in at the very beginning. That could have possibly added a much needed textural shift, but then again, in the context of the whole piece, I think maybe that you had already accounted for that in some of the earlier movements, in which case I'm not sorry, but I think my observation still stands. But I do really like the approach, and particularly the little solo moments of 3/8 in the cello, where Excellent writing. Excellent, spectacular writing. I'm very, very much impressed by the way that you treated the string quartet. I do want to observe something I often see in compositions by, I want to say younger composers. I don't know if you're young or not, but I don't see the violin going anywhere higher than a D? Perhaps I am mistaken. Oh, it goes up to a G. Because everything in the parts is all sort of spanning little more than 3.5 octaves, and that's from cello, whereas violins can play much, much higher. There's so much space in the violins that you could add, and in the viola. Actually, all of the instruments have a much wider range than what you gave them. Everything sort of safely sits right in the middle. And that's underused territory for the strings. Those are places, those are rooms, those are places that the strings could have gone. Those are things that were meant to be that never manifested. It just seems just like a resource that was underutilized, an opportunity not capitalized on. Also, everybody's playing at the same time. There's very few moments where it's like, violin is bouncing, then the violin too takes over, followed by the viola, then the cello jumps in, then everyone together, then just one person. Everyone together, then just one person. One, creating sort of a cascading effect, right? This idea of things are falling, things are rising. You know, this idea of like violin 2, and then having interplay between the individuals, right? Where there's the viola and the cello have their own little duet, and then the violins are interrupting, and then violin 1 and the viola, and then, you know, violin 2 and the cello. So thinking that it's not just a string quartet, but there are 4 people, 4 individual souls with their own voices fitting together in harmony to create a melodious unison. However, we sort of don't get that, so I would definitely suggest, really utilizing... Oh, Go Cat, it's good to see you. Strings can't be overtaxed. Strings cannot be overtaxed. They don't have chops. They can just play. Those are just my thoughts, observations. And like I said, I didn't hear the other 2 movements, so perhaps these things were used. But very cool piece. Strong writing, underutilization of the ensemble is going to lose you a point. But still, I'm going to say... 8.0. That was an 8 out of 10. Very strong. So, very, very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Lauren Lofton with Lauren's beautiful string quartet called House. Once again, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends, you're tuned in to the Seth David Show, where I review your music and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Up next, we have with a $4.99 super chat. That's almost half a pack of diapers for my beautiful little daughter, Simone. So thank you for the $5. Appreciate that. $4.99 rather. So Zach Master. Pontiac Firebird. It's a car. It's a piece of orchestral symphonic music. So we're going to take a little break here from the string quartets and transition into some full-blown orchestral music. We do know Zach Master from previous streams, trying to remember what their music sounded like, and it's sort of escaping me. So it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and download this score. We're going to view it. We're going to listen to it together. We're going to go on a little journey, you and me, just the two of us, and whoever else might be tagging along. So without any further ado, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends, transition times 2. Here we go. Ooh. Love. Cue the long notes and the winds. Ooh, love the piano. I'm thoroughly enjoying this piece of music. I love this piece of music. This is a cool piece of music. Time to change up the harmony. Nobody wants 151 anymore. Now it's just repeating. Oh. I love those trumpets. Ooh, zesty. I want those trumpets. Those are very nice. I have a feeling this is one of those pieces of music that feels like a build-up to nothing. That piece of music required a golf clap. Very fun, very, very fun, very cool, very engaging. Very strong start, but it started kind of, started waning a little bit. It fell prey to that sort of classic orchestral building texture that eventually did not pay off, which was a little bit disappointing. We call that musical edging. Goat Cat, I've been actually asking about your name kind of all stream, so I've called on you 3 times and you kind of didn't manifest yourself, so I'm tremendously sorry that you may not make today's stream. But it's okay. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed in you, my child. A lot to be said about this piece of music. I really liked it. Felt a little bit like it did not reach its full potential. definitely didn't reach its full musical potential. All the ingredients, it was kind of like you were preparing a beautiful sourdough loaf. You fed your starter, you got your starter nice and active. That natural wild yeast in your kitchen really started fermenting and bubbling, and your starter is, doubled in size. And then you auto-lysed your dough with some purified spring water, not purified, but just natural spring water. And then, you started mixing your starter into the dough, and then it started kneading it and doing your stretch and folds. And, the gluten started to develop in the loaf. You did your stretch and folds, and you really, were vigilant about making sure that you're doing them every 30 to 45 minutes, developing the gluten, and then, you let it rest and do its bulk fermentation, and so the dough started rising, and then you covered it up in a nice moist towel, and then put it for a nice cold proofing in the fridge between 24 to 36 hours. Just really let that final sour, pungent bacteria take over the whole loaf, and then you beautifully dusted it, carved a nice little scoring in the top, and then forgot to put it in the oven. Forgot to put it in the motherfucking oven. Now we're just left with this beautifully prepared ball of uncooked dough, and everyone is fucking hungry, and everyone is fucking mad because they were promised a beautiful, delicious sourdough loaf, and you have not delivered. For instance, we have this great little quarter note triplet motif, and yet it's sort of smattered in and out when that could have been a full-blown metrically modulated motif in and of itself. You had these beautiful little in the oboe, and then you had the same minor sort of menacing arpeggiated arpeggios is a redundancy that I'm choosing to ignore, followed by a lot of syncopation that didn't go anywhere. It was like you were afraid of the one, these building chords, and then finally when you get to the moment of payoff at the end right here at measure 95, it felt completely out of place and unjustified. Underdeveloped percussion. I'm angry because it was such a cool piece. I even said that at the beginning. I was like, this is such a cool piece. And then it just didn't quite develop. You never baked. You said let him cook. They said let him cook. They said let him cook. They said let him cook. He cooked. And then he never plated the dish. No one ate. Everyone was left hungry. So really figure out what is that part that makes everyone say, oh, dang, fuck, that stank face, where the conductor, you're that part that the whole orchestra is just fucking pumped up, the whole band. I guess not orchestra, it's a band piece. You even got the piano player in here. So it was fantastic, cool piece of music in terms of potential, but it just lacked a climax. It didn't have a climax. You'll never be a parent. You never finished. Sad face. Sad face. Composition 9 out of 10. But no payoff. -3. -3, but then +1 because I like you. Puts you at a 7.5 out of 10. Rework. Add a payoff. Add a payoff. Thank you so much for sharing. You're a good composer. You're a great composer. You're a great composer. I love you. Alright, this is... Not everyone gets it.
Don't. Please.
Crowded hollow, the people clap their hands.
Please, just stop.
They're here to see me.
Come on, man.
Take my final chance. I don't think
stop.
that anyone can hear me.
I'm begging you.
I don't think that anyone should care. In reality, I am quite happy. No one can take that away.
I love you.
I'm begging you. I'm begging you, please.
I love you so much.
Anything
You
ask,
bring so
I
much joy to my life.
Just don't.
I don't think I could love anyone as much as I love you. You're so
I
beautiful.
won't tell
You're
you.
so thoughtful. You're so kind. And you're so talented. I love you. I love you so much. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Okie dokie, alright. This is fun. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary friends, welcome to the Seth David stream. We are here to listen to your recordings, listen to your tracks, listen to your pieces of orchestral, sometimes chamber, sometimes hip-hop, sometimes band. Man, I'm just here to hang out, so thank you to everybody tuning in. I know we had a late start today, so I am sorry about that. Usually I like to start at 8, but it looks like we're going to start it at 10:30 today, so that's my bad. Starting off the stream... we have, let's see here, going through, looking, I want to see, make sure that we're getting, let's do Goat Cat for the first stream of the day. We're trying to get to 25 million likes, everybody. We're trying to get to 25 million likes, so we're getting close. Let's go for Waltz and an arbitrary chosen key. It's electronic or something, so... All right, starting off strong here with Goat Cat, Waltz in an arbitrarily chosen key. So, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary friends, the first stream of the day. I like the synth. That was cool. Nah, the little chromatic line there. This little major minor thing, the passing tones is cool.
Whoa. What is going on? We're just like in the middle. This is like oh, hell yeah. This is strong. This is how. Oh. Oh, I love the tempo change. Oh, what fucking fantastic ending. Boom. A little G at the end there. Cool. What a cool piece. Thank you so much for sharing, Goat Cat. I liked that immediately. So the first half of the track was dull. Kind of started off this cool little bum. Like, this was cool. Gets a little like, all right, where are we going? And then the bells come in. It's like, okay, cool. But this whole middle section with the bells, very, very weak. The second half where those big arpeggios come in is like, it, you know, find a way to incorporate the same amount of energy that you have in the second half into the first half. Now, I understand wanting to use sparseness and portioning it out, so it's like this sort of soft intro, but, you know, this is not it, right? It was weak. It started off interesting, and then I was like, okay, this is a little dull, and then it picked up and was like, oh shit, this is actually really hella tight. So, find a way to capture that same energy. It doesn't mean like, oh, it has the same arpeggios, but find a way to build those textures. If it's having some kind of drone tones underneath, adding a little bit of percussion could really go a long way. Some kind of solo line maybe, justify having. Also, like, here's a little tip. For those of you that are making these sort of Muse score MIDI things, like, just add some ambient, add some fucking, like, listen to this. We're just gonna go, like, listen to how tight this is. Listen to this. Listen, ready? I just added some nature sound effects underneath. See how much nicer that glues everything together? little bit of rainfall, some birds. I just, you know, see how much it's just adding to it? Because at this point, you know, you're almost a minute in and it's just like you know what I'm saying? Like, find a way to add into that texture to make it worth, you know, listening to. Then it's fun, you know. Add some. Let's see what it sound like with some. Oh, you know what? Better than birds. Let's hear what some city. So let's hear what like some city noise sounds like in the background. All right, we're gonna do a little city, a little shitty city for you. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. So we have shitty city. Let's do. And it's, you know, hearing car, like, see, now listen when I take it away. Oh, all of a sudden it's breathing, right? But when it's by itself, it's like you're missing it now. So, yeah, cool piece. The second half was a 9 out of 10. First half was a 5.5 out of 10. So that averages you out to let's say like a 7.9, right? So close to an 8. Cool piece, liked it a lot, very fun. Second half was spectacular. Let's see here. Who's next? Who's next, man? What else we got going on? Man, nobody's super chat. Man, we had a lot of new faces today, but we ain't no super chats. I live in a world that people never told me not to say. Things that I maybe might be a little gay. You know, it's alright. I'm not mad. I'm just a little bothered that we didn't have it. JJ, hello JJ. JJ Composer, let's do it. Let's do JJ. Oh wait, no, I know JJ's stuff. Maybe we should do a newbie. Who's new here? We will get to JJ. JJ, I don't want you to feel like I'm omitting you from the stream, but I do want to hear some newbies. Who's new? Who's never been? No money is fine. I'm being extra. Bro with the $1 super chat. There it is. Ash with the 99-cent super chat going absolutely wild. So spectacular. Thank you for the $1 super chat. Let's go, Archie. Archie, what is your name? How do you pronounce that? I don't know. Ash. In Drear Nighted December, a piano and vocal. So I'm guessing this is a MIDI thing. That's okay. We love MIDI. We all are composers here. No judgment. This is a judgment. Ooh, I like the score. It's a little abstract, looking a little serialist. Little serialism. Am I going to be exposed to a little serialism here? It kind of looks a little serialistic, am I right? Are we hitting some set theory? Maybe a little dodecaphony? A little, okay, do to zeal will be new. All right, here. In Drear Nighted December, here we go. I'm going to guess this is atonal serialized music. Let's rock. Yep. I was right. Okie smoky pokey. Very, very fun. I can't wait to hear it recorded. Ash, let me hear it. 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 Okay, so for those of you who don't know this about me, I am actually a fucking sucker for serialism. I love serialist music. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like the remnants of my leftover comp major superiority complex where I think serialism is better than tonal music for no reason whatsoever. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's cool. A little piano, a little violin. Like, I would fucking listen to this. Like, if you had a recording of this, like, I would put this on a fucking Spotify playlist, and I would just be, like, in my fucking kitchen, just, like, making goddamn tacos, just be like, oh, damn, I love this part where there's absolutely no tonality whatsoever, and the piano goes, and then the violin screams up high. Like, I love this shit. I don't know. I don't know what part it is in my brain. It tickles my soul. It tickles my brain. It makes me happy. It's like music that is devoid of emotion because I might, in fact, actually be incapable of feeling real emotions. And so I just constantly walk around in this charade, and I get to finally feel like there's nothing of value in terms of having emotion within music. And so I so deeply connect to the sort of serialist practice. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I love it. I think it's great. The one note I would say is I think that this piece could use a little bit more, one section of fast outside of that last bar. Just something where the violin plays a little, like a little, something a little squirrely, maybe use some, because the other thing that I like as much as fucking just like serialist music is extended technique. It is the most circle jerky composition major shit that you can do, and I just love it. It makes me happy. I want to see some, like, Colegno and the violin. I want to hear some Bartok pits. I want to hear little pits of, I really want, like, if you're going to go that far into just, like, removing any and every part of the fucking, sense of what we know about music, just lean into it with the extended technique. Add some performance. Make it weird. Make it wacky. Make it fun. Make the performers be like, damn, this was hard, but super worth it. Not, damn, this was kind of hard and I didn't get it. Like, go crazy if you're going. And especially with a brutal title like The Drear Nighted December, like, just lean into it, my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, really just go balls to the wall with this shit, because I fucking love it. I love this shit. This is a 9 out of 10. Easiest fucking 9 I've ever given. It doesn't matter that it's not original and that there's nothing that my ear latches onto nothing. I just love it. You could basically write any piece of serial music, and as long as it's more or less interesting, like I'm gonna give it a 9. I love serial music. Especially chamber music. Get the fuck out of here. McNeil Sketchley. Fuck it. I'll try to redeem myself for the haters. A Cat Named Chaos is the one that my friend liked the most. Dirty Fish was made 2 days ago. Insects at Sea is too long. Okay, McNeil, I want to say that you do not have to redeem yourself. Fuck the haters. Fuck everybody. Fuck everyone here. You can't please it, McNeil. That is just where that's just where you live, man. People are gonna not understand your music, and I know that's not what you're doing. I'm laughing with you, but I really appreciate the $10. I appreciate the pack of diapers. Buy my daughter a pack of diapers. That's what it's all about. All right, we are going to transition into the one, the only McNeil Sketchley. So for those of you that may forgot, McNeil Sketchley was the one that played Attitude. That was that super long, very abstract, detuned ukulele piece with the saxophone and the fucking iPhone vocal. Let's do A Cat Named Chaos. A Cat Named Chaos by McNeil Sketchley. The one, the only, the man, the myth, the true legend. McNeil Sketchley, A Cat Named Chaos. Oh, it's pretty.
Do we all get away from the things we hate? From doing something a little different than living a little different in a way. Does chaos thrive in the way that you say? Ahoy there, mate. Do we all put food on our plates with resistance?
I love the phaser.
Now I've been going backwards. Can I be chaos? Now I've been going backwards. Can I be chaos? Now I've been going backwards. Can I be chaos? I had a cat named Chaos.
There's that lawnmower again.
I give my friends the evidence to make amends, and in the sense I have completed a special dream that only needed the fulfillment of my dreams to look into reality. One step in front of me. One foot in front of the other. Oh, brother.
Sweet. Strong. So I like I like I like how McNeil is like, all right, man, they didn't like that other one. I'm gonna bust out the big guns. Get ready for this club banger. Like, this is why I love McNeil Sketchley so much. Is like, that is just a testament to his mind. Like, to him, that's like a song of the summer. Like, bro, this shit is here. Like that's still incredibly just like deeply abstract, fringe, avant-garde music. But like, I'm also with it. I'm like, yeah, oh, this one is like palatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the easy one. This is like, this is the tip of the iceberg, like in the McNeil Sketchley. Like that, the last one, that's like deep down. But it's still just incredibly just this like sort of abstract, somber longing. I do like the sort of just over booming phaser, and I like how the phaser is going way faster than the rest of the music. And it's another uke piece, yeah. So I like the quick phaser. It's funny that this one and the other one, the ukulele, this is sort of your like. It's weird because the past couple of weeks it's been more instrumental, so now I'm hearing back-to-back vocal pieces that have your singing in them, and it's like, it's funny to hear like the phases that it's going through. It's like we're in like the ukulele singer-songwriter era, and that's and I know that maybe it's just the way you're uploading them, and it has nothing to do with the timeline, but it is funny that that's what's in my head now. I wonder what it's like it's not feedback, but it makes me wonder what kinds of what you would do with something that's fast. Your music tends to be pretty slow and arrhythmic. Like it has what's really interesting about McNeil's music is that it's not that it lacks rhythm. It doesn't really have a rhythm, but because it's more centered on phrasing. And I think that's a really interesting musical technique to focus on phrasing rather than rhythm, because phrases exist even without rhythm. Bum bum da 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 dee da do da da da. You know, like that's a phrase that can't really be notated out in terms of music. But and so I like that. So it makes me wonder what you would do in terms of something that's a little bit quicker. And even then that sort of like, how can something that sort of lacks a definitive rhythm have a tempo? There's a very clear tempo, but there's not a clear rhythm. So it's an interesting thought experiment. A really cool, just another great little piece of ukulele. Although I was a little sad that I didn't hear any low saxophone notes in there. I felt like, you had the lawnmower again, or whatever that is. It's like the engine that, but there was no saxophone. There was no Why was there no saxophone in that one? I feel like it could have used like saxophone on top of the voice, maybe, right? Like, what if that one was ukulele voice and then there was saxophone on top of another layer? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it needed it, but I like, it didn't need it, but I wanted it there. You know what I'm saying? But who am I to want more from the great McNeil Sketchley? Super cool. Art. Okay, here's a piece of lore. Oh wait, no, that's today. No, I was reading. Okay, let's see what we have. So yeah, McNeil Sketchley. On the McNeil Sketchley. On the McNeil Sketchley scale, that one, for accessibility and an unusual use of the phaser, was like, I would say pretty like high tier on the Iceberg. Not like, I would almost say maybe even above water. But it's, you're moving into this sort of longer form, which brings you a little bit lower to the Iceberg. So you're at that was like a 73% McNeil. So it's not a 73% out of 100%. That is, what is the, it's not a 73 out of 100. It's a 73% of your Eunice, if that makes sense. All right. I love it. Let's see. What do we have for who's got the best lore? Seth David's most popular video was remade and nobody knows and just watches the more popular one. That is true. That is true. That is a good piece of trivia. Hi, Elf Guy. Lauren said Archie gave the first chapter during Seth David's live stream on today doesn't count. How many views does my most popular video have? That would be a good one. That's a good piece of trivia. Also, here's a piece of lore. What famous music YouTuber, what famous classical music YouTuber channel have I appeared on? Somebody that most of you probably know. Xander with a good piece of trivia that I did. I remade my most popular video, but no one watches it. And the reason that I did that was because of the length of the video. It was my most popular video, but it wasn't long enough to get properly monetized. So I only made like $6 on it. Whereas if it was just 6 seconds longer, I would have made about $1,000 on it. So sad face. And then my rebranding thing didn't really work. All right, Xander Braxton is going to take that first piece of trivia. The next piece of trivia is figure out what famous, and I use the term famous loosely because classical music YouTubers are not famous, but what known classical music YouTuber's channel have I appeared on? All right, but in the meantime, I'll let y'all look at that and come up with some more fun trivia facts. But let's do Xander Braxton with the great piece of trivia. Xander Braxton. Reversal. Oh, it's an orchestral piece. Fun, fun, fun. We love orchestral. Let's get the score. And we are looking, and it's not orchestral at all. It is string orchestra. There's a difference. I'm not going to hold that against you. I'm going to pretend to not be upset by that. I like string orchestras, but I prefer string quartets. Not going to hold it against you, though, my friend. Here we go. Reversal. Xander Braxton. Really cool. There's a fun little piece of string orchestra literature. Nothing wrong with that at all. I have no idea why it's so profoundly short. It was like a minute long. Nothing wrong with that. But I felt like it definitely could have been longer. Should have been longer. Should have been. I think there's a lot of material to develop. Could have been at least 3 times as long and still been pretty short. Let's talk a little bit about scoring. No slurs. No slurs. Maybe everything's supposed to be bowed, but I think that's intentional because I see you have bow markings here. But some of these dee da dee da dee da dum dum da dee dum could have been, here's some slurs. Anytime that you have like half-step chromaticism, such as in Violin 1 on 21, do F to G flat rather than F natural to F sharp. Or E sharp to F sharp, since you already have the F sharp in the key signature. Just, it's super, super minor, but, so it's just ugly to have F, 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 F with the naturals and the sharps. It just looks amateur, frankly. It's a very easy fix, but you're not going to dock any points for that. It's kind of just it's like you got some dynamics, and then you kind of abandoned any ideas of having dynamics. Oh, excuse me. Strong intro. A lot of quarter notes. A lot of eighth notes, no 16th notes. Not that that's bad. I'm not saying like, oh, it needs 16th notes. But, you know, dee da dee da dum, ba da dum bum 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 bum, ba da dum ba da dum dum dum, doo da dum ba dum, ba da 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 dum. You know, having a little bit of more rhythmic variation, especially if you made it longer, it would be much needed. But it's so short that it's not necessary. I feel like having these sort of staccato things in the low strings could be covered by the cellos and basses, and then the violas could be hanging out with either this chromatic line or this little melodic line, because the violins are now competing with 3 other sections playing the staccato. And this feels like more the little chromatic thing, the dee-da, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, could have been accentuated by either the viola or the viola taking over the melody, you know, just playing around with that. And then the same thing I've said before, underutilization of the range. The violin can go way, way, way higher. Cellos can go way higher. So you definitely didn't use the full range. And I'm not saying you need to use the full range, but even, you know, like bringing up, like you could 8VA some of this stuff, you know, just to add a little bit more variety. Oh my God, I'm going to sneeze. Would have been a good use. So I've shared that before. That would be my big takeaway. Really cool piece. I like it. Yeah, really, really strong for how short it is. That's an easy 8 for me, dog. That is an easy 8. Lauren Lofton said, "How am I just now realizing that I'm the chordal harmony? Chordal harmony makes your music." Oh wait. Chordal harmony makes your music sound like a mystery. No, chordal harmony used by Debussy makes your music sound like a mystery. The harmonic structure is far more in touch that you must attract a chordal. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm big, dog. Hello, Aaron. 8VA is cured AF for string. I think you mean cursed. Man, nobody got... Ooh, here we go. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see. My first video was about plugins. That's true. Let's see what other Seth David Loader we got. First video was about plugin. 278,000 views is my most popular video. That's true. Actually, no, my most popular video is on Instagram. It has 5 million views. I don't know if that counts, though. I did not appear on George Collier's channel. Good guess. Did not appear on Score Follower. Jackson Ramsey, good night. Goat Cat, good night. Jan Flamanier. Jan was somebody I worked with. It's all right, man. So wait. Here I promise we're gonna get back to all the good stuff. Hello, Harrodson. You've been a good sport. I kind of wanna treat you and listen to your piece. out of curiosity, everybody in the chat, how many of you actually have watched my videos? Is anybody here on the stream because of the streams and not because of my videos? That would be very unusual for me. Is anybody here because of the streams and not because of my actual videos? If you are here because of the streams and not the videos, tell me. And in the meantime, we're going to go for Harrison Eckbert. Xander with the... Yeah, Xander with the other piece of great trivia about the... Bro, when I did that score and I censored out the word leaps but left the word dick in it, I was high as fuck. I used to do this thing where when I would like finish editing a video, I would then smoke some weed and then I would make all these weird edits because they made me laugh. I don't smoke weed anymore. Not for any moral reason. I don't have time. Let's see. Harrodson. Let's go Harrodson. Where is Harrodson? I'm not finding your... Here we go. Somebody said they've never had review from an in-depth review before, and that's a very nice thought. I would love to take your music review virginity. Gross. I hate myself for saying that. All right. Ooh, this looks fun. This looks like a fun piece of music. Harrodson. Piano piece. Oh, I'm excited. Is this going to be a fun piece of music? It looks fun. It's like weird. What is this weird? What is this barring? It's short. It's so short. Why is it so short? Why is it one page? Is this like 2 seconds long? There's a repeat. McNeil said all the small things. My Christmas special, and not the one I did this year, but like from years ago. The 10 megabytes is Killer Bee. Okay, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, you seem. My guess is that you're kind of a new composer. So yeah, the formatting is very bizarre. I would say what you need to do is listen to a lot of solo piano music. You know, study some classic work, study some Beethoven. Beethoven there's a reason that he's goated. Like, it's so trite to say listen to Beethoven, imitate Beethoven, but it's you learn a lot about how music is structured, particularly piano music. with everything from melody to, what is realistically possible to play on a piano, because this is not really written like it's for the piano. It's kind of written for like, I just want to see what sounds kind of good together, and that's okay. And that's a good place to start. I think, a lot of us have started more or less in that way. So I don't want to bash you. I would feel bad about giving this a score. Because I'm not like I feel like I can't really rate it. Well, I can rate it for what it is. I like some of the harmonies here. The melodic line here with the thirds is kind of nice. The but I would say try and get out of this just like find ways to play around into, modulating into C major, then, maybe into F major here. Play around with some different, tonal centers. You're kind of doing this like harmonic minor A pedal thing, which is cool. Keep working. For what it is, it's a really good start. It's a good, so starting score is like a 7.5 out of 10. But keep working on it. Yeah, solid. Very, very good start. Very good start. I'm not mad at it at all. All right, we got time for one more. Who's got the best piece of what is going on? Colonizer, listen to whoever you like. I just use Beethoven because Beethoven's music is right in between like being simple and complex. That's why it's a good, and because you can find Beethoven's music everywhere and you can find his scores. That's why. I mean, it doesn't have to be Beethoven, but like if you want to write piano music, Beethoven is a good start. I stand behind that. Fuck out of here, crazy. All right, let's do it. Let's do a quick. Yeah, I did. JJ, I did. Let's do one quick piece of Seth David trivia. Let me think. Elf Guy, I've seen you on streams before. Yeah, let's do JJ and then Elf. We'll get to you next time. Let's do JJ. JJ been waiting. And in the meantime, I'll give a bonus round after JJ. If anybody can tell me what was the first time. Well, never mind. I'm starting to feel self-conscious about the Seth David thing. Where's JJ? No score, just a nice little piece of MIDI. All right, let's hear it. JJ composer Juan Jose Valenciano Martinez, the 421 swing. Oh, it's short and sweet. Let's listen to it again. So there's not a lot of strong harmonic tension. It doesn't feel like it has much direction. It's cool, but I'm having trouble following like the momentum of it. It's kind of blah, blah. I mean, the MIDI swing is really painful to listen to, but I don't want to hold it against you. I'm trying to think compositionally, and I don't have the score, so it's kind of like I'm trying to imagine the house without, like, if it was a recording of the piece being performed, I feel like I could talk more about it compositionally, but it's a MIDI recording and I don't have the score, so it's really difficult for me to give any kind of feedback because I don't know what I'm exactly listening to. MIDI recordings work best if you have a score so I can sort of understand what is intended. When I'm hearing just the MIDI recording, it's a little tricky to like... But the big standout is there's not a strong harmonic vocabulary. You know, really lock into finding those fives, those ones, those 2 5. You know, like where does tension exist in the music? How do I accomplish that tension, and then how do I release? Because a lot of the tension that I hear is just kind of awkward voice leading and some like kind of sour notes, which isn't innately a bad thing, but it doesn't leave me thinking like, wow, that was tense, that resolved. It was kind of just like awkwardly plopping along, and I know also part of that is the MIDI. Is it a bunch of just like awkward septuple? Oh, okay, that's funny. Yeah, the septuplets. Okay, so it's like septuplet swing. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I would say don't rely too heavily on super abstract ideas if it's only MIDI, give me something to sink my teeth into. I don't feel great about scoring it, giving it a score, because I like it's just too much unknown. It didn't it would be a bad score, but that's because I'm I'm operating a little bit in the dark. So a potential, we'll say it's a potential 7 out of 10 as potential, but let's keep it moving. All right, last one of the day, last one of the night. Who did I say? Oh my God. Dotu, right. I'm actually going to get to wrap up at 3 hour. So it's Electronic Stuff by Dotu-Z. Dotu-Zil. Icebound Gallery of Refractions. There's a fucking name. Oh, hell yeah. 10 out of 10. Fucking sick. Tempo change, amen, breakcore, microtonal, experimental dance music. Fuck out of here. Eat shit and die, motherfucker. That shit is so fucking tight. Eat shit and die, motherfucker. That shit is so fucking tight. 10 out of 10. Tempo changes, super sick. Microtonal synth shit, tight as fuck. Production, incredible. Love that just super blasted, compressed, squashed, nasty process sound. Disgusting compression, just absolutely brick walled the fuck out with a soft clipper. Fucking love it. Bendy, wacky. Fucking best for last for sure. Sorry, I wish I could say more, but I can't. It's just awesome. Would have been cool if somewhere at the end it like settled into the amen break, right? It like landed into the break, and then it was just the drums and had finally sort of settled into the groove without the tempo changes, and then you had some kind of like weird like whispering voice sample over it, like I wanna learn to say not from Valentino. I wanna know to see. Now go to go. I wanna see. Good night, oh, to don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody said it would have been cool without the drums. Yeah, I think both could work. Like, I like the fact that it had the drums, but it also didn't necessarily need them. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? 10 out of 10. Alright, gang. I'm fucking tired. I've been streaming for 3 hours, 7 minutes. 1.5 hours, 7 minutes, whatever. I gotta go to bed. I love you all. I'll see you all in 1 week's time. Elf Guy won't see you. Elf Guy, I will see you next week. McNeil, I'll see you. Dotu, please come back whenever comes